Alright, it's the morning of day 10, and we are currently on Route 6, making our way to Blackhawk, I think it's called. And we'll have a little bit of a, should be at least a, well, everything's scenic, so be a little bit of a scenic drive up to Rocky Mountain National Park today, which we will spend all day at. And we're either going to go through the park and then right back the same road, opposite direction if we like it enough, but there's a way we can do a loop kind of up north of the park also, which is supposed to be nice, so we probably will end up doing that. But from the photos and stuff we've seen, the park should be pretty amazing. And we're not sure how much that stuff requires hiking to get to and all that. We're mainly going to just ride through the park and see what we can see from there and stop at the overlooks. And our first tunnel of the day. Of course, we've been on the road for maybe 15 minutes, and we've already hit our first bit of road construction also. A lot of tunnels. Just casino after casino after casino. That's all it is. It's just casinos. Now we know what Blackhawk is. It's a city of casinos. pretty cool looking. That's a big guardrail there. Well, at least we're not following cement trucks. The area we just went through was Estes Park, kind of rounded a little bit, and we're making our way to Rocky Mountain National Park now. But we're pulling off because I need to change the batteries in the camera. Alright, looks like we have reached the official entrance to Rocky Mountain National Park. Well, that was a big, giant disappointment and pain in the butt. We showed up to the park after doing our due diligence last night and researching if you needed to get a permit ahead of time, only to show up to find out between 9 and 2 o'clock it is a timed reservation entrance only. So instead of sitting there for 2 hours, we have decided to head back out of here, and we're going to do the northern end of the big loop we were planning on doing after the park, which is Pooter Pass or something like that. So we're going to go back out, do that, and then come back down into the other end of the park and run it that direction, which is doable, but it is going to probably press us for time and make for probably a late night getting to the hotel. But what else is new with our adventures, right? Yeah, we'll get to see another sunset probably. So yeah, it's a good thing, right? Yeah. I admit, I understand why, and I understand the necessity at times, but I'm getting sick of all this permit required and reservations ahead of time and scheduling when you're going to show up at a park, and it definitely makes travel quite difficult. I mean, especially when you're traveling hundreds of miles or thousands of miles, whatever. You can't sit here in time when you're going to arrive at a park within an hour or whatever, so it's kind of ridiculous. But oh well, we're going to change up plans as usual and make the best of it, and I'm sure today will still yield a scenic ride all day. Currently on Route 34 heading east over to Loveland, and then we'll head up north to Fort Collins and then start heading west on our loop that's north of the park. We are currently on 14 West. We'll end up going through Pooter Pass, Rustic and then over to Walden before we start heading southeast just to enter the park from the other side. And hopefully we don't run into any issues entering from that side, or I guess we're just not seeing the damn park today. But at least the workaround that we've had here so far has been very scenic, except for going through Fort Collins, which I spared you from recording that mess. It was just a bunch of traffic and sweltering heat. You would have just heard me and Alan complain the entire time. Now we're going through a little bit of a canyon ride here along the river. Temperatures are down slightly, but not fantastic still. But at least we are moving and out of city traffic. Probably going to be a pretty long one today, seeing how we got to do the route this way. It added a little bit to our plans, but still should work out pretty good, and still looking forward to seeing Rocky Mountain National Park. It's a cool looking tunnel. It's okay. He's going to pull over. He's going to pull. Oh, he is going to pull over. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of fire damage. Yeah, even down at the river. Wow. Tell some time has passed at least, because there's like underbrush has grown back up around them, but man, it burned this whole place down. I'm surprised these houses are still here. That's a hell of a lot of fire damage. it might be hard to see on camera, but it looks like that entire mountainside there is all fire damage. Yeah, a lot of this looks like it was at least a year ago or so, because there's underbrush coming back already, but man, it's a large area. Crazy how fast this train changes. For those watching at home, we're still on 14, heading west, and less than 10 miles from Walden. And from Walden, we'll head south again, right back down to the other entrance of the park. Alright, we're currently heading south on 124, I believe, out of Walden, hauling ass down this road to try to get down to the western entrance to the park. And as usual, this is taking longer than we thought, and we're going to be lucky to get to the Rocky Mountain National Park by 6. We're not sure how long we really need to go through it and enjoy it and be able to have the time we need. Hopefully not more than about 2.5 hours, because we're going to run out of daylight. Now we're going through another massive section of fire damage here. This looks a little more recent because there's not as much grass growing up and stuff. Not sure if it's from the most recent batch of fires they've had up here or not. Probably not, but wow, this is the biggest section we've ridden through. And it was a good bit even more before this, before I got the camera turned on. Oh, there you can see the stark difference of a little bit of trees left. Not much. I believe we are still on 124 heading south. Oh yeah, it just keeps going and going. Wow, yeah, that's a huge section. I mean, as far as I can tell, that entire section, all gone. Including the next mountain tops there behind it. It might even be all of that up the highest part. Wow. It took out this entire area. Yeah, I guess it is most of that high part, because you can see a little bit of green there. Wow. Alright, we are just about to the west entrance of the park. It's been a hell of a loop to make it over to this other side, that's for sure. We're a little late in the day. It's 6 o'clock right now. Just hard to judge or know how long we really need to get through the park and enjoy it and see it all. Well, we shall find out, I guess. I think we're going to see the park with a sunset, though. Alright, we have officially made it to the west entrance of the park. And hopefully they don't tell us it's closed because of some rabid elk that's on the loose or something. Alright, we're just inside the entrance of the park, and it looks like they've had some fire come through here too. Not recently though, since there's underbrush and even some small little saplings about a foot high or so. There's 10,000 feet. I think that said it was Erie Lake or Irene. And there's 11,000 feet. Still climbing. There's 11,700 feet. I have 11,980 feet. 12,140 feet. Oh yeah, that is elk. Probably just about impossible to spot on camera here, but they're there. Yeah, you could. Might be able to get a picture from down there at them. Yeah, I see what you mean. I can catch little glimpses of it. I figured the sunset ought to look awesome. This is the good direction to do it though at sunset, because otherwise we'd be riding into the sun. I think it would have blinded us a lot to actually see something. Man, I hope these trees aren't blocking it. I think... No, yeah, it's down there. You watch, there won't be a pull-off down there. Alright, we did a quick turnaround because Alan noticed in the rearview mirror that the clouds looked pretty awesome getting lit up from the sunset. So we're heading back this direction, which already looks pretty awesome. We're gonna hop back up on the top here, see if we can get a good photo of that. Yeah, we knew it would be a trade-off as late as we're getting here. It's double-edged sword because there's a lot of areas that are in shadow, which you can see, but they're not lit up great. But the lighting is very dramatic, so I'm sure it would have been awesome any time of the day, but we're here now, making the best of it. So we're zipping back up the hill here to see what we can see. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but you definitely see some sun rays shining through the clouds there. Nice silhouette of the mountain. Alright, hopefully I took some pictures that did that justice. We're heading back down now. Here, you got another beautiful shot of this little section. I think the lighting is even better than the first time we went down this. Yeah, I figure she's running nice and cool now. Mine still never does that. Mine still... I don't think I've ever seen it move off 3. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, it is now nighttime. And we are still about an hour away from the hotel. Maybe a little less. But we still need to find some food because we basically haven't eaten all day except for breakfast because we're idiots. But I think that will wrap up today's video for day 10 of the trip. And, oh, and Alan, how many miles shy of 3,000 are we? In 3 miles, we will have done 3,000 miles. And there's still tomorrow left. Tomorrow's the last day of the trip. We're still not sure exactly what we're doing, but yeah. Stay tuned. We're gonna go find some food.